Look at you, all alone. You wake up alone, go to sleep alone, and every so often, you go on the hub to try and get rid of the loneliness. But as soon as your man juice shoots out of your tummy banana, you're back to where you started. Back to the dark, lonely void. That is your life. But I, research, have a solution, fam. Every guy's always saying, I wish girls made the first move. Well, I've got a girl who does. She's from the Manhwa drug candy. An adult Manhwa with some scenes that I can't show because if I do, YouTube will me so hard that my bum will look like a yawning hippo. The uncut versions available on my Patreon, fam. Link in the description. Wink, wink, wink. So this is why you should read Candy, how reading it will help you get a boyfriend or girlfriend, why cheating is a good thing, and how this girl will cure your loneliness. The story follows Park, a 35-year-old business manager. He just recently got demoted at work, and add on to that a broken marriage. Park's life is at an all-time low. Everyone at work hates him because he's a perfectionist and a terrible communicator, which sucks when your job is literally to manage people. But most of all, Park made the mistake of believing that work is only about maximizing profits. It's not. It's also about making people like you. Something Kim, an employee at one of the shops Park manages, has no problem doing. She's cute, bubbly, funny, and is an overall ray of sunshine to everyone she interacts with. And what's Park's reaction to meeting such a queen? Disgusting. How dare they hire such disrespectful trash? He must have turned into Jotaro from JoJo, because why does he hate women so much? I swear if hating was a job, Park would be a billionaire. But as he's driving home, he notices her walking and can't take his eyes off her. So when the heel of her shoe breaks, Park does not hesitate to offer her a ride to the train station. Yeah, he went from hated to simp real quick, and I can't even blame him, fam. Look at her. I once read the quote, women are the flowers of the human race, and fam, all I have to say to that is, that's called motherfucking boys. Women are just too fine, fam. Like, have you seen them? How can you not love these amazing creatures, fam? Which is why it makes no sense when people keep calling me fatphobic for making fun of Lizzo in my comments.
Who are these niggas?
First, I've made max 5 jokes about her in my entire YouTube career. Bro, if you've only smoked 5 cigarettes your entire life, are you really a smoker? So shut up with all the fatphobic comments. Second, the reason I bring up Lizzo so much is I have to know what that's like, bro. I've never been with a big girl, fam. I need it. Yo, get this video to 1,000 likes and I swear I'm gonna DM Lizzo, confess my feelings, and show it to y'all. I promise. So Kim hops in Park's car and starts talking about how much of a dick their boss is, and deep down Park agrees, but he's so stiff and worried about ruining his image that he gives robotic answers like, I'm not adequate enough to badmouth an employer. And Kim just busts out laughing. You sound like Mr. Smith from The Matrix. And she keeps teasing Park till slowly he starts to open up and Park just loses himself in her eyes. She's so easy to talk to. He doesn't have to try when he's with her. Park just hits and kisses her, and surprisingly, Kim doesn't seem to care that he's married. He starts going to town like I would with Tyler's coochie, fam. Man wastes no time and starts putting stuff in his mouth. Psych! It was all his imagination. He didn't touch her, fam. They arrive at the station and Kim gets off, and after staring at her bunda for a hot minute, Park heads home, but there's nothing but silence. His wife's washing the dishes, but the first thing Park does is organize his already organized ties and line up the remotes. Sorry, I cleaned up, but it's not up to your standards, right? The air is too awkward. It wasn't always like this. There was a time that they were happy and in love, but now they sleep in separate rooms. He can't even remember the last time they smashed, which is crazy. I mean, at that point, if y'all aren't doing anything, she's not even your wife. She's your roommate, fam. Being lonely while being married is insane. That's like dying of thirst in the ocean. And subconsciously, Park compares his wife's song to Kim, and while he's asleep he dreams about Kim and nuts. Fam, Aren't you 35?
Embarrassing.
So the next day, Park is at work and Sung goes shopping for a new carpet. But the shopkeeper keeps checking her out and he clearly likes what he sees. But fam, I can't blame Sung for enjoying the attention. Her husband shows as much love as Jada Pinkett shows Will Smith. Here's where the story gets funny though. Since the shopkeeper is a young dude, as soon as he talks to her and finds out that she's a Japanese teacher, this man goes MILF hunting and signs up for her class. Bro is a man of focus, commitment, and sheer will. Learning a new language just for nyash?
Arigato, sumimasen, let me fuck.
This has to be a new simping world record, guys. Back to Park. The man manages more than 10 stores, but he keeps visiting Kim's store with the excuse that he's supervising it. Sure, buddy. However, every time he sees her, he just gets refreshed. But he's still scared of his feelings for her, so he never commits. But this dumbass Park realizes that he doesn't have to do Nona November and be horny at work. He's got a wife. So Park decides to make it up to her by buying her flowers and apologizing for being so cold. But also because he was tired of busting nuts in his dream, so he turns into Future and texts her, "Get sexy." Sung is dressing up for a man, but she's so insecure about her body because her husband hasn't been showing her any love. Now, this might just be Korean beauty standards at work, but she's not ugly for having a few love handles, fam. She's still beautiful, and you already know I don't care about a little fat. I'm okay with Lizzo, bro. So they start making out and fam. This scene had me dying. This is one of the reasons I'm scared of getting old. Park tries to be dominant and picks up Sung, but oh, my back! His back gives out. I thought this man was supposed to be in his late 30s, not late hundreds, fam. So Sung just goes, "Honey, you're not him." Then they decide to walk to the bedroom. Oh my days. So Park is going crazy in those guts like,
What are you doing?
Then he realizes he's out of
Baba Boo.
But Sung doesn't mind. She wants to have children. But here comes Park's old habit of being terrible at communicating again. He just stops the whole thing and goes, "You wouldn't understand." Here's the truth. Park is an anxiety-ridden perfectionist. The reason he's so scared to have kids is that he doesn't know when he'll be fired. He wants things to be perfect, but also doesn't want to look pathetic to his wife. So he just chooses not to tell her his fears. And that's terrible for Sung because if he won't tell her how he feels, how are they supposed to find a way forward? This panel really hard to read, but Park just leaves her hanging and goes to bed. Kim wouldn't stress me out like this. So the next day's a Friday, and since work's been so good, everyone wants to go out for drinks. So Kim, being Kim, forces Park to pay for everything, but passes out after one beer.
That's suspicious.
Well, I know she's a lightweight, but that's pretty weird. So after everyone's had their fun, there's still an issue. How's Kim gonna get home? And Park, being the gentleman he is, lies to himself that he's not taking her home because he likes her. He's doing it because she's defenseless and he can't just abandon her. So Park drives to her apartment, carries her up the stairs and leaves her on the bed. And as he's about to leave, he notices that Kim is awake and her lips read, "Don't go." However, like a good Christian man, Park leaves and goes home to his wife. Bro says the wrists and immediately starts to eat. They're going at it like rabbits. Probably had all the single male neighbors singing, "I'ma have it one day, one day." I'm talking the loudest clapping known to man, but they ain't using hands, fam. After several hours of adult wrestling, they're spent. But Park starts to worry again. What about my wife? What if the company finds out? Did I really last 5 seconds? But Kim just hugs him and tells him everything will be okay, and Park just relaxes. He gets back home and his wife Sung just assumes that he's been really busy with work, so she tells him to wash up so he can come to bed. And while Park is in the shower, he replays the night over and over again in his head and wonders why he doesn't feel an ounce of guilt. Then we get one of the most devious smiles from this man. Why was I even so worried? This moment marks a turning point in Park's life, fam. Because after that night, he goes rogue. He starts linking up with Kim on the daily. They start wrestling everywhere. At work, at her place, in his car. Look at this face, fam. This man isn't getting head. He's receiving cranium, fam. Hold up. After the head, she leans up and kisses him in the mouth.
Brother,
I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I've experienced the same thing and I loved it.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the?
I call this move the return to sender because baby girl is returning your pee-pee juice back to you. The sender. Okay. Y'all are gonna have to keep that last part low-key, bro. The streets already know me after my childhood crushes video, so please keep it on the down low. However, every time they link up, Kim keeps telling Park that everything's gonna be alright. Almost like she's manipulating him. But the amazing thing about all this is Park's mental state improves. He starts loosening up, gets more productive at work. His entire vibe changes. He even starts to open up to his wife and tells her why he's so scared to have kids. He even starts asking her about her day. Yes, people, cheating makes him a better husband. Park, however, starts to get greedy. Sometimes he'll link up with Kim and then still do it with his wife on the same day. Since Park's been getting along so well with his wife Sung, she decides to treat her man by bringing him lunch at work. And finally she meets Kim and there's something disturbing about the look in her eyes. I've so been wanting to meet you. Huh? Why? Park sees them together and can't believe it. His heart is pumping out of his chest. So when Kim invites Sung to the break room for tea, Park is so scared that he borderline shits himself. They sit in the break room and Kim is being friendly, too friendly. She's asking super personal questions like how Park is at home, all while having the most innocent smile plastered on her face. But Sung notices that she's really close to my husband. Until finally, Sung leaves. Why did you do that? How can you talk to her so casually? But why do I need to act like I don't like your wife? What? Well, on TV, the side chick always loses to the main chick who tries to rip them apart, but I'm not greedy, babe. I'm having fun with the way things are. Fun? And that's when Park realizes that Kim doesn't love him. She's just enjoying the situationship. She's a thrill seeker, which is pretty hypocritical because so is Park. Cut to Kim alone in her apartment and we finally get some glimpses of her past and... Daddy, I'm sorry. Daddy, I'm sorry. Yup. Kim is crazy, and not just crazy, daddy issues crazy. The author even goes out of his way to show us that Kim sees her father in Park, and that's why she's so attracted to him in some sick, twisted way. Then we find out through an old newspaper in her room that Kim actually killed her father. But we don't hear from her for months, and everything goes back to normal. Park goes back to being miserable and a snake at work, gets even more distant with his wife, all while still craving to see Kim again. Till one day, he's in his building's parking, walking up to his car and finds Kim sitting on his car. Park is bamboozled. Kim is jovial. Really, really jovial. Good morning. Why are you here? How are you these days? Does your wife still stress you? It's not a problem. What about work? No problem there either. If you aren't in pain, you wouldn't have a problem accepting it, right? I just wanted to make you feel better, but in the end you pushed me away. But I should have seen it coming because you're a married man. And fam, right there she pulls a video of them doing it. She must have had cameras in her room the very first time they linked up. She then pulls up his wife's phone number, but Park channels his inner Chris Breezy and charges at her and tries to grab her but grabs her shoe and misses. She sends the video, guys. Looks like she hasn't seen it yet. What are you waiting for? Run. Park runs for dear life up the stairs. He bangs on the elevator button trying to hurry up, all while thinking, I never should have given her a ride that day. I should have said no that day, but bro, Sung already left for work. She opens her phone at the train station and sees the video. Her head starts to spin. She can't stand up straight. She can't breathe. Park runs back to the parking, but Kim's gone. And he's so dumbfounded that he starts to believe that it was all a prank. She wouldn't actually send that video to my wife, right? that has to be a fake number. So he drives to Kim's apartment and it's empty, guys. She's gone. Horrified by what he just witnessed, Park staggers to work, and as soon as he sits down, his boss walks in and says 4 words that send Park into a living hell. This is you, right? She sent the video to every single person at his job. This is a dream, right? This can't be happening. His boss tells him to pack his stuff. He's done. And while Park is borderline having a heart attack, we catch to Sung walking into the carpet store, and she asks her simp one question. Do you still like me? Then they go at it. Sung stops in the middle of
Baba Bowie,
takes her phone out and sends her husband a picture of her getting her back blown out. Park gets home and his eyes are dead. Realizes he has a text, opens it and sees the picture. 6 hours later, Sung comes back home. The apartment is as silent as a grave. She sits down, looks him dead in the eyes. How does it feel? Huh? What happened? Sung, I'm happy we don't have any children. She stands up and walks out. Some time has passed. How much time? We don't know. Park sits alone in his house, scrolling Twitter when he notices something. Kim just posted where she is, at a resort near a beach. So he stands up, gets dressed, and starts his journey. Finally, he arrives. It's nice and warm here, right, babe? There's no one around either. You're not scared? Even after I followed you here? I was getting tired of waiting for you, dummy. So how are you? I lost everything, but the pain was only when it happened. I'm alive and kicking, as you can see. Why was I even so scared, right? See? I told you everything will be fine. Her final words. Daddy, I'm sorry. Wow. Just wow. I think we can really learn a lot from Park. The reason he ended up in this situation is because he didn't communicate his feelings and preferred to hold everything in. That's why when he met Kim, someone who gave him a false sense of peace, he got addicted to her and she became his drug. The story doesn't really give us a simple fix because there is no simple fix. The best advice I've ever got about relationships and marriage was, a relationship is just like lifting a couch. It only works when both parties put in the work. I think it's good to be honest with yourself and really acknowledge why you feel what you feel, whether it's loneliness, anxiety about your future, or even why you feel like a failure, and work towards resolving these feelings, because getting into a relationship won't magically fix all your problems. You can ask Park about that. So, what do you guys think about the video? Tell me in the comments. Did Park deserve what happened to him? Would you still smash Kim despite her being a psycho, a killer, and a homewrecker? Thank you so much to Milo May, Agili, Ego, and Nuff Nuff, my patrons, for making this video possible.